Podium is proud to be sponsored by Morton, which is right at the forefront of innovation when it comes to sports fueling. And it is, of course, that time of year again, road race season. We've got 4 marathon majors between late summer and the end of the year, and some big events elsewhere too. And to help you along the way, Morton's new improved drink mix should be one of your go-tos. There's 3 versions, and if you've tried it before, well, give it another go, because the mix is now less thick, so easier to drink. It dissolves quicker too, and you don't need to worry as much anymore about its hard water tolerance. Podium listeners can get 15% off as well. It's a one-off code. Just head to morton.com and enter the code PODIUM15 at checkout. It's valid on all items apart from bicarb, and all the details you need are also in our show notes.
This episode of Podium is brought to you by Tracksmith, the New England running brand that lives and breathes athletics. Whether it's track and field, road running, cross-country or road racing, Tracksmith supports runners at every level. From club events to aspiring pros through the amateur support programme, helping athletes reach their elite dreams or run their personal bests. We think you'll love Tracksmith's clothing and footwear range. It looks great, it's built beautifully, and it helps you perform to your best too. Listeners to this podcast can get 20% off their first Tracksmith purchase with the code PODIUM20, all in caps, all one word. That's PODIUM20 at checkout. The info's also in the show notes, so go check it out.
Hi everyone, welcome to day 4 of the World Athletics Championships 2025 in Tokyo. Rich and Hannah here with our latest Podium Podlet. Katie's had a day off today, so she's just trying to get those energy stores back up. We have a bit of an issue here. I've just been commentating without battery, which is really stupid, and it's been charging something else, and we've got about 5% on this laptop to record this podcast. Should we see how far we
get?
If
we needed any more stress with our day.
Right, okay, so let's start this podlet with the 110 metres hurdles. Men, just to throw out, I've been on the men's high jump final tonight. Again, very much like last night, the pole vault. I didn't really see anything.
So all you get is little notes for me with highlights on, isn't it?
Yeah, I see little tiny bits of it, but mostly I'm fully focused on just having to call one event. So you're going to have to guide me through a lot of what's happened this evening. I've got a slight idea, but you're the only one who actually
saw it.
We'll talk about Hamish Kerr in a minute in the high jump, but let's start with the 110 metres hurdles. So Cordell Tinch has been the man all season, but there was a little bit of a question mark after the heats originally. But today he was absolutely fine. Tell us the story of how this one went.
He still looked shaky in the semi-final for me, Cordell Tinch. He definitely didn't look dominant. And I'd written down Enrique Llopis for the win. You know, I'd just kind of gone, the Spaniard looked good. He ended up coming fourth. But Cordell Tinch, in the end, in the final, ran the best race. And that's what you need. And we saw Tataji Kumbunji yesterday do that. Just run the best race out of everybody. Tinch, the only man under 13 seconds, 12.99 for him. And a brilliant day from Orlando Bennett. He's looked brilliant throughout all 3 rounds. Silver medal for Jamaica and him. And Tyler Mason muscled out that silver medal ahead of Enrique Llopis. And the Jamaicans were delighted. When you think back to Paris and the Jamaican team, it's a series of near misses. Nothing was clicking. And it's the opposite here in Tokyo. They're just picking up medals left, right and centre.
Rashid Murataki here. There's been a lot of attention around him. He's on lots of the billboards around the stadium, around Tokyo generally. Actually, we've actually got to go out today, didn't we, Hannah? We've had because it's the first day without a morning session. We actually did some tourism. We went to go see some sights, and when we went to Shibuya Crossing, I saw big billboards of Murataki, Kawaguchi. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to feature. How was his start? Was he ever in the mix?
No, it was fine. I'd say Murataki, he was 5th in Paris last year, 5th here. Very, very good. It's a very competitive event. We lost Grant Holloway in the semi-finals, the defending champion. So when the defending champion doesn't make the final, 5th is so respectable. And I think that the Japanese fans, they're really willing their stars on to do something special, but they celebrate them whatever they do. So I'm sure it's stressful for them, but hopefully they'll still think what a wonderful opportunity to have this championship in front of a home crowd.
Yeah, Cordell Tinch has said throughout the season it's all focus on this event. It didn't matter about the times that he's been running throughout the season. He's trying to ignore it, and he said that that's been a mindset change that he's had to work on. And in the end, whatever he's been doing, that process, it's completely paid off in the end.
And it was just glee. You know, you
Yeah.
see all these different emotions coming across the line of the surprise, elation. You know, so
Did he have that? What was his reaction?
It just looked like a kid in a sweet shop. Like he
Okay.
genuinely did. Like
Because-
there was some relief, but it was just like, oh my goodness, I've done it. And
That's really good to hear, because I feel like most of his performances this year have kind of been joyless at the end because of the fact it's been
since
building
the
to this point.
1284, you
Yeah.
know, the 1284, he looked like that, and then he was only second at the US trials. I think he would have been delighted to make the team, but yeah, you haven't seen that sort of joyful abandon until then. And it was a really, really good race. So the title stays with the US, but not with Holloway, and it goes to Tinch.
Okay, let's move on to it. It was a bit of a quieter night tonight, I thought, just in terms of the profile of some of the events. And tonight was the first night where we didn't have a full house, and I thought actually, even before the women's 1500 meter final, it had sort of emptied out a little bit because they come to see some of the Japanese athletes. But I thought more would be in the stadium for Murataki. It just wasn't that way tonight. It's a bit of a shame, but I think tomorrow night for the men's 1500 meter final, I think it's going to be absolutely packed, just because of the people who've also travelled out here. It's one of the biggest events in terms of the one that everyone's been looking forward to. We're going to come back to that in a moment. Let's be a little bit unconventional. So we're going to go to the women's 15 in a moment. Let's just focus quickly on the 400 meter semi-finals. Because Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone ran an American record, so she really is putting this challenge down, isn't she?
Well, she obliterated the American record at 3/10 off it, 4/10 off it, and Sonia Richards-Ross has held that for nearly 20 years. And she just looked very focused, McLaughlin-Levrone, and I think she was trying to prove a point tonight, and she was really going for it. I think they've got a day off tomorrow as well, so why not? And Mara Lady Paulino looked pretty normal. She nearly didn't make it. She eased up on the line and nearly got caught for an automatic spot. I mean, that was bonkers. NASA looked good, but McLaughlin-Levrone, I doubted what she was going to achieve here in the 400 metres, and I take that all back. Yeah, the sky's the limit. If she can do, that might be too far. But she sort of just went 7th all time there in the heat. So I definitely think she could do more.
Okay. Any other items to try and wrap up from the 400 metres before we get there?
Well, the men's one, we lost Matt Hudson-Smith and Mazula Samukonga, the silver and the bronze medalists from Paris. They were both in the same heat, and they just looked out of sorts. Samukonga nearly got himself up into a position, but Kebina Chippy of Botswana hit a new world lead, 48. It was kind of lower, bottom half of the 43s. And all three Botswana athletes into the final. And Isaac Mtwala's long-standing national record has finally gone. And you felt like that was on borrowed time anyway with this current crop of 400 metre men. But Kebina Chippy just, from lane 3 as well, he just absolutely destroyed his field. And it's going to put a fear in the rest of the athletes. Ja'Cory Patterson looked very normal. He only qualified on time.
I was going to say, so he finished 4th in his semi, didn't he? And no British involvement left in this.
Not in the
event.
men's. No, Amber Anning season's best in the women's side, but unfortunately, no men from the Brits made it through to the final in the 400.
Could Amber Anning bring a surprise? Can she grab a bronze? Maybe.
Maybe. It's going to be very, very competitive. Lika Klaver didn't make it. Bukowiecka was the one that went flying past Paulino. She looked good.
Yeah, she has looked good in recent weeks.
Yeah. I think Bukowiecka's on the rise.
Yeah.
I think Nasser's on the rise. Paulino, I'm not sure. She hasn't looked good here, but neither did Tinch until the final.
Yeah.
But I think McLaughlin-Levrone is going to be head and shoulders above the rest of them. The rest have got to run their own race. If they try and go with her and they crumble, there's going to be a lot of athletes ready to pick up a medal.
Okay, let's move over to the women's 1500 metres, and it was pretty much a foregone conclusion who was going to win this one, and it's ended up that way. Faith Kipyegon winning in 3:52.15. Was it what kind of race was it? Was it a kind of unremarkable race in the end?
It was a wind up. She went sort of 63, 62, just gradually wound it up, and then really kicked it with probably 500 metres to go. Blew the field apart, faster, and a whole load of PBs behind. And Jess Hull did what she did last year, just hung on to Faith Kipyegon for as long as possible. I was worried she'd be nervous after that defeat in Zurich and she wouldn't go for it, but she did. And she just ran out of legs in the closing stages, got caught by Dorcas Iwoy, who's on a World Championship debut for Kenya, to make it a Kenyan 1-2, and Nelly Chepchirchir only after a brilliant season, she was off the podium, one place better than she was in Budapest. But I think Chepchirchir will wonder what she could have done differently to get on the podium.
Yeah, with Ewa, I think Kipyegon had been saying in the previous round that she was actually pacing her round to make the final. That's how dominant Faith Kipyegon is in this, that she's actually thinking about what she's going to do for her teammates.
Exactly. And then there was talk of the fact that Kipyegon wanted to go hard today just to have no drama. It's about do you save energy for that 5,000 versus Chebet? Beatrice Chebet was bawling her eyes out in the stand. The emotional energy, but Beatrice Chebet, they kept cutting to her. She absolutely lost it. And how wonderful they can celebrate each other, Kipyegon and Chebet now, but they can't be happy for each other in the 5K. We've got to see a totally different mindset when they go to that 5K final. That's next Sunday.
I've just quickly skimming over some quotes from Faith Kipyegon afterwards, and she says, full focus now on the 5,000 metres, but she's talked again about going the sub 4 minute mile. She said, I will now try to run under 4 minutes in the mile. So
I said in commentary,
she's locked into this, isn't she?
When we said it on the podcast, that attempt for the sub 4, she looked stressed, she looked nervous, she didn't look herself. Today, that's the Faith Kipyegon we know. She was just happy, she was up for it, and she loved the atmosphere in the championship running.
She needs the challenge though, doesn't she? She feels like maybe she's not, maybe for that attempt. I mean,
you want her to do the marathon, don't you? You'd rather she just said, I'm doing the marathon.
Yeah, I love it if she did it. But it's going to come, isn't it? That is
At some point that is going to come. Some point. After LA.
She actually said it a few times, and she said it again after winning the 15. She obviously is very much on her mind. Okay, let's go next to the men's 800 metres. We'll go back to we'll go to the field separately in a moment. So I caught some of this actually.
Yes, you actually just before you started. Before your sound drama, right? Were you having more? There was more drama. No, it was all right. It was all right. All your tech was working.
Yeah, all my tech was working. The men's 800 metres. Was there much really to pick out from that? I mean, when I say I saw some of this, I really did just see some of it. I saw Marco Arope not quite looking at his complete best. Is that fair?
Yeah, and the only thing I can hope for the Canadian was that it was slow. It was only 1:45, and did he look a bit clunky and awkward at a slower pace? Was he doing just enough? I'm not sure. That's me trying to persuade myself into it. Brazier looked good. Donovan Brazier, I think I'll definitely be keeping an eye on him. He's still the championship record holder. Cooper Luttenkaus, unfortunately, that's what you'd expect. He ran very, very wide the whole race. But Cian McPhillips of Ireland gets my MVP for the men's 800 metres. That lad has been so injured over the last few years. He was a phenomenal junior, and he's just stuck at it. And I love stories like that. And he won his heat. He looked like he's put his foot down with 50 metres to go, and he couldn't believe it. Everyone else was just melting away, and he finished first. And Mark English made the final as well for Ireland, so that's just brilliant for them.
Yeah. Okie doke, let's go to the field events. We'll leave the one I was on for just a moment. The hammer, I saw absolutely none of this, but it seems like it was a pretty exceptional performance from Ethan Katzberg again. It was all
6 jumps. I think that 6 jumps throws. I reckon like the shortest was 82 metres or something stupid like that. It was championship record, 5th versus furthest all time, 84.70. Merlin Hummel, who's got the best name in athletics, the German athlete, he gave it a little bit of
the magic.
He couldn't produce the magic, Rich. Well done. Why didn't I think of that? Because
everyone else has said it over and over again, probably.
He briefly went into the lead, Hummel, in the first round. My brother lives in Canada, and his kids are obsessed with Katzberg, and he was texting me from work saying, "What is going on? What's going on?" I was saying, "What about Bence Halash? He's going to spoil the party." Yeah. Halash ended up with the bronze.
A good final, to be fair.
Halash another bronze after Budapest, but Katzberg is just another level. You know, people are looking for that vulnerability through the season, trying to believe it's going to be anything other than a whitewash, and it was fake news. Ethan Katzberg just absolutely dominated it.
Interesting looking at some of I'm just looking at the series of throws here, and pretty much everyone apart from all but 3 had their best throws in round 3. That's quite rare.
That is quite rare. And I think we were mentioning it could have been something to do with what was going on in the stadium. It was very, very busy. It all seems to be focused on that top bend.
Yeah.
We had 7 800-metre races, 6 400-metre heats before you get to the final of the women's 1500. And I just wonder, there might have been something going on then in those first couple of rounds that was a bit distracting. And the men's high jumpers, they really were really up against it with the atmosphere and what was going on.
Yeah, okay, let's go to that high jump then. This is what I've been watching all night, so hopefully I can fill you in on what's been happening here. So Hamish Kerr has completed it. He's completed the set. He is now the world champion. He he did exactly the same thing almost that he did in Paris, because he cleared 2:36 at first attempt again, and he started the competition very, very well, then sort of dropped off a bit, and he had to produce another clutch jump to continue on the competition. At that stage,
that's a 2:31, right? 3 attempts at 2:31. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And then Wu. He had three attempts at 2:31, 3 attempts at 2:34 as well, and then goes clear first time at 2:36.
Who does that?
Well, Hamish Kerr does that twice.
Hamish Kerr.
Twice in just over a space of a year, he does that, which is just remarkable. But that all comes from the belief that he knows he can do it. He's done it before, and he's come here and done it again. At that point, Woo Sang-hyuk looked like he was going to deliver South Korea's first ever gold medal at the World Championships. So you feel a little bit for him as well, because it's not like he felt like he had one hand on it. He knows what Kerr can achieve, but they're also so happy for each other. Kerr was the biggest cheerleader when he'd already done the 2:36. He was winning him on. Wu had to then go up to 2:38. I mean, he knew it probably wasn't going to happen. Jan Stefanou as well managed to get a first bronze medal for Czechia in this event, and they've come really close in the past. I think they've had 3 fifth-place finishes, I think, off the top of my head, and 1 fourth. So Stefanou has finally managed to get them onto the podium. So that's a big achievement for them.
No, it was a wonderful series from Stefanou. I feel for Ole Dorashuk. He was right there, and it seemed to me like the momentum was all with Wu. He was the one in the jumping order as well. He seemed to do something first and then put the pressure on everyone else, and that was the whole tone of the competition. And then suddenly that first time 2:36, it's like Kerr wasn't even bothering till then, and then he just turned it on, and then suddenly it was all in his hands. And everyone else, you know what, Rich? Hamish Kerr spoke to us in our interview with him about what it takes in a major championship, how many jumps you have to be fit for. And he said he tries to get fit for 10, 11, 12 jumps. And he was the man to me that looked fittest and strongest when the other men were they were just flat. They were just running out of pop. And the Kiwi had it. And I think that's what allowed him to find something extra at 2:36.
What's funny is that actually Kerr, Wu, Stefanou, Dorashuk, Harrison, actually not Stefanou, he didn't start as well as everyone else. He cleared the first few, but there was a point where Kerr, Wu, Dorashuk and Harrison all had exactly the same cards. But then Wu went off the boil quite quickly. He had a failure at 2:28, he had a failure at 2:31, then went second. That's what put him in the lead there. He clear at second attempt. Anyway, look, Hamish Kerr.
What a guy.
We love him. He's a very popular winner.
Do you think he'll have a beer with us now? Because after the interview, we were just like, I'd love to have a beer with Hamish Kerr. And now he's on. I'll email his agent again.
Okay. Yeah, will Hamish Kerr have a beer with us? I'm sure he's going to be hopefully on the beers the rest of the week. Okay, have we got anything else to wrap up from today? I don't think we have. That's basically it. So what you want to do, just a few points I just want to make. Firstly, from a British point of view, is it a little bit of a concern? I mean, we've got 1,500 metres tomorrow night, so we're going to sort of phase this into that in a moment. But the way things have gone so far, maybe not quite up to the level that we might have expected by this point. Is that fair? Could we have? I mean, you look at someone like Emil Carres, for example. He will look at the podium, and with all respect to who's on the podium, he'll look at it and
he'll know he could have been on there.
I'm as good as these guys. So that was a big opportunity. Obviously, the conditions just picks people off. And that's sort of that's the sort of thing that could just happen.
I think you're right to have, we didn't have any women in the 100. No, we had just Dina in the 100 final. Not have any of the.
It looked so good in the heats.
Yeah, not to have any blokes in the men's 400 is a real shame. But you look forward. We've got Keely Hodgkinson coming in the 800 metres. We've got Morgan Lake Georgia Hunter-Bell in the 800 as well. Morgan Lake in the high jump. KJT going in the heptathlon. The relays, I think there'll be a lot of hungry 400 metre runners that will be disappointed with their individual performances, and they can power that into the relays, and the 100 metre guys as well. We've got a few guys. Zarnell Hughes will go in the 200. Amber Anning still very much involved. Dina will come back in the 200. But so there is still opportunities.
There are lots of opportunities,
but you're right. It's not the dream start.
Sometimes this happens at the Olympic Games where you don't have any for a few days, and suddenly they all start to come.
Yeah.
Unima Rojas.
Oh yes, that was the thing
that
we
was
forgot.
the one we meant to say about. Wow,
she did a Ryan Krauser.
2 years since her
She's
last
done half
competition.
the Ryan Krauser.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
turned up and qualified in one attempt.
Yeah.
Can she do it and
She
go
did
the
her
whole
first
way?
comp in 2 years.
I know. Like it just.
And she just
did you see her little
one and
dance?
done.
She did she did her little like shimmy at the end, and
Incredible.
just really really cool, very cool.
Okay, before we leave, men's 1500
And the battery
metres.
before your battery dies, I can't believe we're still here.
I can't believe we're still here, to be honest.
Should we do the quick, please leave us a review,
Do that
follow.
now, just in
yeah,
case,
the battery dies.
because I'm not going to go back to my room and then close this
Rich and I
down.
are
If
done
we just
when this
disappear, then
finishes.
that's
But, all
what's
right,
happened.
So if you're enjoying it, if you're enjoying the Podlets, we're enjoying them. We're having real fun, letting the traffic run down here in the stadium empty and then head home afterwards. So we hope you've enjoyed it.
But
if we still have battery, men's 1500, we did some predictions. Cole Hocker DQ, that was confirmed. We talked about that last night.
Yeah.
We lost the likes of Azzedine Abs, we lost Fanuel Koech, but from the field we do have Richard Newman. Who's getting a medal?
Who's getting a medal? Who's getting the gold? What's the order?
I don't
Do
know.
we have to pick an order? Let's
Yeah,
pick,
go
let's,
on.
let's,
Quick, the
let's,
battery's
let's, not,
gonna die.
let's not sit in the fence.
Yeah.
I am going for Kerr for gold. I think he's looked all right.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to beat Laros because he's going to take it early, like you said. Mm-hmm. It's going to be Kerr, Laros, and Whiteman will take bronze.
He's gone all heart there, and I love it. I think Kerr is going to...
It's a completely
Yeah.
impossible task.
Which is the beauty of 1500 metres. I think Kerr, without Ingebrigtsen, without Hocker, without Nagus, he's got to push. He's got to be leading at the bell, so he has to start earlier than that. So Kerr's going to be leading at the bell, and I think he holds everybody except Laros off.
Okay.
So I think Laros gets the win, Kerr gets the silver, and Jake picks off a load of people that judged their last lap incorrectly, and Jake gets the bronze.
I think I just.
And it was so biased. I love it.
No, I've just got a funny feeling about
Josh.
No,
about
Laros. That something.
He's not been there and done it. Josh has been there and done it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. No, and I'm with you. And what I love, I said this last night as well, we do this commentary here, like for people that don't understand it, like we work for World Athletics here, we have to talk about everybody. Yeah. We have to be impartial, which is brilliant. It's really fun to celebrate every nation.
That's what we're trying to do with the podcast a little bit as well, because it's not fun to... I don't think either of us enjoy just talking.
Well, it doesn't give you the full landscape. We don't want to just talk about Brits. We want to know how they are embedded in the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
But for one night only, I would love to just go up there. Well, and the BBC can do it. If you're British, you can go and watch it on the BBC. But Neil Gorley, Jake Whiteman, Josh Kerr, they could all get in the top 5. Yeah. And once you're doing that, I know. I don't like to talk about my own achievements too much. Lie. I went to Daegu. I was ranked 11.
Did you?
I did this one time.
What happened?
Once upon a time.
This is when the battery runs out.
You're just going to cut it anyway. I was ranked 11th. And I came second. Yeah. Like that for me epitomises what 1500 metre championship running is. Yeah. Like it really, really, truly doesn't matter. We've seen that already. We're losing Habs. We're losing Fanuel Koech, Cole Hocker. It doesn't matter how fast you are on paper. It matters what you do right now without any pacemakers.
Just very quickly on this, are you? We've had so much drama, and I am going to compare this with football. Like in a World Cup, when you have lots of surprise results in the knockout stages, and it's just everyone's like, "Wow, this is such a brilliant tournament," and then you get to the semi-finals and you look at the lineup and you think, "Oh, actually, I'm not that excited by this anymore." Would you have liked? Does this final lineup excite you as much as you hoped it would?
Yeah, because everyone made the start line. I would have loved Ingebrigtsen to make it another round. I think we obviously he's way off his best. So we have lost Ingebrigtsen at his best, but everyone else is here, and they didn't make it, and that's part of the championships.
If it ends up being the final level that we hope it will be, then the whole series of races would have been incredible to watch.
No, and it like genuinely could be anybody's. I just hope we don't get any falls.
Yeah.
Like that would be really upsetting for me if we got some falls and that. I just want everybody to be able to have the best race they can, and that involves getting yourself in a good position. If you get boxed, you can't walk away from that and say, I coulda, woulda, shoulda. You have to get yourself in a good, and that's why I think Josh will do that and Jake's very good at doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
All right, okay.
I love the fact we still got batteries, so we're just on a total deep dive into men's 1500.
I think we need to. I think I'm also listening to both of our voices, and I'm thinking we probably need to stop talking in a sort of broadcast way. We just need to go back to our mumbling. Well, especially my mumbling.
I've dropped an octave, haven't I? No talking tomorrow.
So, and look, we've actually gone out and seen stuff today. We're going to get to see more stuff tomorrow. We're really getting a flavour properly now of Tokyo, and
it's such
I think
a
that's
cool
really
city.
adding. It's really adding to the whole experience. I think that adds to the broadcast as well, because we really get to appreciate where we are and sort of rest our minds for a bit and then come back and, we love athletics. Absolutely love it, but I think sometimes you just need to take yourself away from it just so you can properly enjoy it even more. 2%. So let's say goodbye. So Giant A, and we'll see you tomorrow.